just want to look at fixing the levels now, and I'm going to look at a little bit of mastering as well, just to get that track sounding a bit louder. So levels, let's have a quick play. I've noticed when I was listening to it that this is very loud and this is very quiet, so what we'll do is we'll go in here. Doesn't sound too bad. So what we're going to do now, we can do a bit of vocal mastering now. As I was saying to the start, I'm actually using headphones from an iPhone. So as I said to the start, I'm using headphones from an iPhone. So they're not the great. Well, the headphones are absolutely rubbish, to be honest. I produce quite a lot with headphones as well. But I use different headphones. But just for this, I've been using these ones. Just for this tutorial. So the levels when I'm doing this now, bearing in mind that this is going to be way off, but this is generally what I would do with speakers and headphones as well. You need to try and listen to as many stuff as you can as well. So listen to it when you think you're ready. Compare it to other tracks, A-beat with other tracks. Does it sound? It doesn't have to sound the same, but it just has to sound as powerful as the other tracks. Listen to it on your laptop, headphones. Listen to it through your TV, through your monitors, through your headphones, through your little sister's £2.99 headphones. You know, in the car, wherever you can, just listen to them, different things, and you always notice, you know, when they sound perfect on the studio speakers, but then when something back on the car, something sounds a little too loud or a little too off. And remember that although they sound great on your speakers in the studio, they may sound great in a club, but if someone's listening in a car, they may go, "Oh, this is absolute pants, this sounds way off." So make sure you need to just get that happy medium where you're happy with where it sounds good on all platforms. So what we're going to do is intermixer. So we've had a limiter on there, just to stop it from peaking because I don't like seeing them go red. So let's take that off. And I'm not going to use FL Studio VSTs for this because I don't use them myself for mastering. There's no point me trying to use them because it's just built in. There's no point in that really. I'll show you what I normally use. So what we do first of all, as I did this, it's like a bus compressor. So load. Where is it now? Bear in mind, I have a mastering chain saved. So I have a mastering chain saved that I'll load up and then tweak like on nearly every project. Sometimes I'd use a couple of different mastering chains that I'd use just try to get that right sound. So let's go for this just for now. Let's go. Which should I use here? The glue. I think it's the glue. So all we'll do is we select this part of the track here. Look. It's pretty good. So it's picking it a little bit up just to the top there. Then let's add in one of these presets. And let's go to dance mix. What I'm going to do is turn it down a little bit because when you add these they tend to get louder, so let's turn it down a little bit. What you'll tend to notice as well is the levels will change because when you're adding these effects in, some of the effects, for example, they make the high end sound a bit shinier or they make the bass sound a bit bassier. So you've set all your levels right. So this is why you need to. It's vitally important to, as you're going along, make sure your levels are spot on. And sometimes you need to tweak them as well slightly. So let's have a little go now. So messed up because normally I don't have to find them. They're normally just there. Is it that? Yeah, it's this one. So we're gonna go with. What I'll also add in is where is this? this 3G. It's actually free now. You can get it downloaded for free off their website. What I do, because sometimes when I'm producing, the levels have been spot on so far, levels have been down, but sometimes when I do other tracks, the levels tend to, as I'm producing, the levels of all the individual sounds tend to go up a little bit. You should always bring your levels down rather than bring other stuff up. So if you've got something that's sounding too loud, rather than bring everything up to match it, you should bring that down. Because the less volume, the better. Once you start clipping and stuff like that, it starts getting started. It's alright clipping a little bit on the mastering, but not when you're actually going through the sounds. So I add this in because sometimes it comes in too hot and it sounds really bad. So with this here, so it's bringing the whole thing into this, I can just, if it's too loud or too quiet, I can just tweak this a bit and it brings the sound of it before it goes into the mastering sort of chain. So EQ, I do have an EQ in, but just for this I'm not going to bother with an EQ because you have to start messing around cloning EQs and stuff like that. I will in another video show you how to clone EQs. Right, okay, so let's finish it off with an L2. L3 is alright. I prefer the L2 to be honest. I think it sounds different. So let's just play it. Okay, so what we've noticed now is when we've added the limiter on, what has happened is the kick has died down a little bit because this lead's now too loud. Because they're fighting for sort of space. So let's bring that lead down a little bit to let the kick come through. Yep, so let's a little play through here now and tweak any volume levels. The kick's slightly too loud, so let's bring that down a little bit, 47, and let's then, what we'll do is add a bit more sidechain to that. It's probably better. So it's the bass of the kick is a little loud now. And remember, because we cut the kick into two pieces, the attack and the bass, we can control them separately now, which is a good thing as well. Okay, so sounds alright. As I said, you know, you need to add a lot more sounds in there, little funny sounds, stuff like that. You need to fill it out a bit more. The riff's not the greatest riff. What I've noticed is when you come in, when you start this, it's very quiet. Because obviously there's no bass in this. So what we're going to do is we're going to just copy the bottom notes, again holding control. Copy the bottom notes, and then we're going to insert a bass part. Well, a low pad, I suppose. A low pad. So let's, for this one, we'll use one of the fruities. Right, so let's pretty good. Bring the volume right down. So let's then paste this in, and then let's make this into a MIDI. So. Let's listen. Right, so Control Alt, move up and down, Control, and then hit down on the number key, on the number pad. It'll then bring it down. Semitones, bring it down to 3. There we go, nice and low there. So let's bring that volume right down. We don't want that volume up at all. As a matter of fact, what we could do is send it to a mixer channel. What we could do is we could EQ a bit of it off. So all we want is the low pad part of it. And then let's just say here, number 8, insert 1, and it'll insert a track for you. Right, so let's like that. Okay, so let's use this here as well. So what we'll do is we'll just right click and make unique. So that means when we edit it now, so when we edit this now, it'll change. The way Cubase works and stuff like that is it's assigned to actual tracks. So like if I had, say, the pad assigned to this and I had something else assigned that, if I brought that MIDI part down, it would then play the instrument of whatever's assigned to that. Whereas FL Studio doesn't do that. So if I go in and edit a part of this, it'll then edit all the other parts. So let's make this part unique. Delete all that. So let's build it up 8 bars. Right, so now 8 bars long. And now with the FL Studio built-in synths, you can actually use a pitch bend in here, or the slide as it's called. So what we'll do is we'll leave it for the first. What is it? F. Leave it for the first, and then let's stick it in. Say there. That's quite high in it. Yep. And then so that'll then build up along with this. Let's listen. Still thinking that bass part's a little too loud. The kick. Okay, so I think that's about it really. That's real quick how to make music like Martin Garrix. Going to be adding up, doing other stuff as well. Want a bit more time. If there's any like, you know, styles out there that you like, or anything you want to know how you know it's sort of made, I can do quick tutorials like this and upload them for you. Just either leave a comment or send me a PM or something like that. Tell me what you want, and I'll see what I can do. So that's about it really. Thanks for watching.